Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Action Toon Bros. I'm Ben Sturgeon.
And I'm Matthew Lewis.
And today, this is our Legend of Korra podcast.
Heck yeah.
And now, before we do any of this, I have to ask you, do you have any thoughts on what could be happening ever since the last time we talked?
Huh?
I mean, you know, like with everything that's going on with Varric being a bad guy.
I've seen the whole series already. You haven't. I'm asking you that.
Well, then why are our roles reversed?
Who knows?
You know what I need? I need someone to guide me along here.
Oh, that's what you were doing?
Which, by the way, that happens to be episode 9, the guide.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't know you were setting up a weird thing.
The announcer guy states that Korra is back with her memories and needs to seal the southern portal before harmonic convergence. As all of that is happening, Bolin is a mover star and Asami's company is saved.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's by Varric, which Mako always is like, oh, this Varric guy, I know he's a criminal.
Yeah, he's not trusting, but everyone's just like, what are you talking about? Also, Korra, the harmonic convergence is Korra understanding Unalaq's plan finally.
Yes.
Like, what the heck he's been doing this whole series? It's very like, finally.
Yeah, we finally get that. And of course, the announcer ends it with, can Mako prove that Varric is the big bad guy?
Yeah.
Cut to Vacation Tenzin.
Yep, once again at another air temple.
Yeah, we find out that this one is the Eastern Air Temple.
Yep, and we find out the reference later where this one's from in the original series. Yep. I was concerned at the beginning of my notes, I was like, have we seen this one before?
Yep, and of course, as this is happening, we see Jinora playing with these adorable rabbit spirits.
Yeah, with little, are they called dragonfly? Dragonfly ears, what do you call them?
Yeah, I think they're called dragonfly rabbit spirits.
Yeah, they find out what they are later. They're all colorful and cute and flying around.
There's one in particular, a green one, which she likes to call Furryfoot.
Yep, also I was going to say, I don't think we mentioned it before, but Jinora's voice actor, you know who she is?
No.
Kiernan Shipka, a.k.a. she was in Mad Men, she was the daughter, and also Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She's the new Sabrina in the Netflix series.
Oh, she's the newest Sabrina.
Yeah, in the Netflix series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she was the daughter in Mad Men. Yeah, she's a
interesting. I never would have guessed.
Oh yeah, she's
but as she's playing with these spirits, we see Tenzin's walking over, and she's like, "Hey, are you playing with anyone?" Which obviously he sees no one. Nothing. Yeah. And she's like, no, I'm just playing with my imaginary friends, which we get a funny little scene where behind Tenzin's bald head, we just see 2 ears just pop out.
Ears pop up above his head.
And of course, Tenzin brings her over to talk with the entire family.
Yeah.
Where we cut to them, where Boomy tells Kaya that he beat an earthbender in a rock throwing contest, and he has the trophy to prove it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. He said, the Eastern Air Temple. The kids are very who cares.
Yeah, the kids are just like doing their own
kids
thing.
On a vacation thing.
But Tenzin comes in with some exciting news. They're gonna see some exciting ancient gardens and ancient meditation halls. Old things.
Yay, more old stuff. The kids are like, that's very hilarious. But
the kids are just rolling their eyes when a mysterious figure appears. Actually, it's Korra.
Yep, Korra appears.
Korra appears and everyone's excited. Even Tenzin. Tenzin's like, wait. I thought you were supposed to be training with Unalaq. And Korra's like, do you not... Oh, you didn't hear about anything,
did you? The Civil War? He's like, what?
And Tenzin's like, the what now?
Also, I remember she mentions how she found them. She's like, how did you find them? She's like, I just followed Tenzin's itinerary.
We literally went over it 100 times. And Tenzin's like, see? Schedules. They're good. And then, of course, Tenzin's like, tell me what happened. And Korra's like, what do you want to know? And Tenzin says, everything. And honestly, I'm very glad for this because Korra literally just lists off everything in like 10 seconds.
A very speedy exposition thing of all those things that happened so far is very funny.
After she explains everything, everyone is shocked, except for Tenzin, because he knew this would happen.
I knew this would happen. That was hilarious.
Cut to Korra and Tenzin in like a garden where, he's like, yeah, so this wand was actually the one who started the whole Rava Vatu thing, huh?
Yep. Also, Korra's like, this is all my fault. And he's like, no, it's Unalaq's fault. It's all him. He manipulated you.
And of course, Korra's like, what are we going to do? I need to steal the South Portal, but it's controlled by the North, and we can't really go to the North Pole, can we? So Tenzin's like, aha. Like, I have an idea. because we should. I'm gonna take you to the spirit world.
Yeah.
I prepared all my. No. Sorry. Korra was like, I need to go to the spirit world, and Tenzin's like,
I trained my whole life.
Yeah, I've trained my whole life for this. Cut to the actual portal where we see. Yeah. No, in the south. In the south. Because that's where he's been this entire time.
Yeah, he hasn't been leave yet.
Where we actually see Unalaq is upset as kids.
Yeah,
failing
you didn't catch Korra, god dang it.
Yeah, you didn't catch Korra, you made her die and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's how it sounds.
Shut up. But anyway, the kids are like, hey, we told you what happened. We're sorry about this. He's like, yeah, you know what? I found a way where you can help me. Come, we're going into the portal, where we see actually the actual art styles version of the whole
the big
battle,
yin
and yang thing and all that stuff.
Hunter, yeah.
Oh, it still looks so beautiful.
It's very, very cool. Also,
of course,
the twins follow him into the portal.
The twins follow him into the portal, and where they see the sealed North portal.
Yep.
Which, by the way, we learned something here. Because apparently, the kids are like, what are we going to do? We're not as strong as the Avatar. We can't do this. And he's like, but we have something the spirits can't by walking into this portal. What's that? Bending. If you remember from Avatar The Last Airbender, when Aang went to the spirit world, he could not bend. And yet, Unalaq claims that by going through the southern portal, they can still bend.
Yep.
And guess what? The three of them actually try to water bend the portal open.
Other than that, yeah, we cut to Bolin at the place first, right?
Actually, no. Yeah, you're right. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. Spoilers. I got a little too excited.
Yeah.
But Bolin is once again
a huge mover star. He's trapped in a weird, big, giant fake
bird claws. Hanging upside down.
Fake bird claws.
Immediately, it's lunch break. And he's still hanging in there.
The staff all goes on break, and he's stuck there by himself.
And of course, Asami and Mako appear. But Asami, the first one, is like, are you supposed to be there? Are you guys shooting? He says, nah, we're on lunch, It's all good. Mako appears. And then this is when he is like, hey, Varric's behind this.
Yeah, Varric's
and they're like, what? No, you guys are crazy. You know that?
Yeah, then none of them believe Mako and say, like, man, you are ridiculous.
It's like, dude, you're overworking yourself. You need to chill.
Yep, and Asami is once again all over Mako, and Bolin's like, are you guys back together again?
No, we're not. We're totally not dating.
And before that, Mako tells them about the remote bombs, but they're like, man, they could have just stolen them from him. Why he couldn't be behind it. That's ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Yeah, and then, of course, as Mako's like, no, you're both ridiculous, and starts walking away.
Yep.
That's when we see
two goons.
Two goons, pretty much, are just like, "Hey, the boss needs to seize yous." And this is when we actually cut back to
Korra
Vacation Tenzin. Yep. And of course,
this is when we find out how we've seen the Eastern Air Temple before.
Yep, because this is where we learned that Aang met Guru Patik here.
Yep.
And for all of those who know, that's when Aang lost the Avatar state from Azula literally zapping him.
In Ba Sing Se,
Yep. He went back. He went to the Eastern Air Temple where Guru Patik was, who was trying to get him to unblock his chakras. Yeah. In a very Yoda, Luke Skywalker, Empire Strikes Back way.
Yeah, very, very cool whole segment about that stuff.
Yeah, and it was a children's animation that taught you about like the whole the Buddhist way.
Yeah, and also I was thinking just internally, geography-wise, it's very cool because I was thinking like, wait, Eastern Air Temple, he lost that during the whole earthbending arc in Ba Sing Se, which is totally on the east side of the planet. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, it actually makes sense because like I remember when he ditches Guru Patik and travels to Ba Sing Se with when he runs into Toph, who just learned the metal bend, he is traveling back to, or he's on the east side right now. It's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Geography-wise, it does. I love that. I love that continuity.
Right, and then of course with all of this. He's like, all right, I've done some spiritual training. This is the most spiritual of all of the air temples. Yep. We'll get you into the spirit world. So we're gonna go with attempt number 1. Spoilers, there's many of these. Where Tenzin and Korra are meditating while Ikki is like using airbending on a horn and Milo is hitting a bell.
Yep.
And of course, nothing happens. And Tenzin's upset because Milo is not ringing the bell properly.
Yeah, that was your fault, Milo. And then, like, as he gets up and ready to leave, Korra's like, I think you were doing great.
And he's like, yay! And just bangs it like a kid. So, method number 2. Cliffside, incense, go. And as all of this is happening, Tenzin starts coughing. Kaya, you brought too much, there's too much smoke, there's too much incense. And she's like, I did everything that you told me to. Well, the mood's ruined now. Starts harumping away while Jinora is noticing her spirit friends.
Yeah, she's talking to rabbits again, and Kaya's like, who are you talking to? She's like, oh, no, nothing, because still hiding it.
Yep, and then of course, as Jinora leaves, Kaya kind of has a raised eyebrow. It's as if she knows something.
Yep. The next spot is a really cool temple inside with really amazing architecture.
And a statue of?
Is it
Yang Chen?
The female,
Yang Chen,
the last airbending one before Aang.
Yeah, the airbender
Avatar.
before it. Yep. Just seeing that little like side thing, I'm like, this is awesome. And this one makes me laugh because Korra is silent, so is Tenzin. Korra, are you in the spirit world? No. Shh. You gotta be quiet. Focus. I'm focusing. Korra, stop. Focus. And then he blames her for talking too much when Tenzin clearly was. And even Korra's like, look. First it was Milo's fault.
Yeah.
Then it was Kaya's fault. Now it's my fault. How did you even get into the spirit world?
We finally find out that Tenzin has never been to the spirit world before.
Yep. And then, of course, he's tried many times and has failed. In which Boomy is like, well, welcome to the I'm Disappointed Dad Club. We have shirts.
Yeah,
he never said that, but... and of course, Tenzin's like, look, I've studied all of this stuff, and I know it seems like this is impossible, but I need you to trust me on this.
Yeah, he's been trying for years desperately, apparently.
Yeah, and then Kaya's like, I might have a different solution here. Right, Jinora?
Yep.
And Jinora's like, yes, I think I know where you need to go. And Tenzin's like, how do you know? Okay, my friends, you can appear.
Yep.
And those bunny spirits, those dragonfly bunny spirits.
Dragonfly bunny spirits is what I have at this point.
Appeared for everyone to see. Where one of them, a blue scruffy looking one, is befriended Boomy.
Yep. But before that, this is when we cut back to Unalaq and them trying to use their bending to open the door.
Yes, this is where we go back to to Unalaq, and they're bending like crazy.
Yeah, all
water bending and all
water
stuff.
around,
because apparently there's water here.
There's water and earth here, but so you can also fire and water don't need to be, but yeah.
And of course, nothing happens. Desna gets hurt. And Eska's like, we need to take him to a doctor. And Unalaq's like, no, we must do this. Don't fail me like you did before.
Yeah, and Eska's like, I'm going to take him. She takes her brother back and leaves. Unalaq does a really cool ice drill.
Yeah, like the icicle kind of drill
Yeah, it makes
thing.
an actual huge drill. I was like, well, that's really impressive, actually.
And then nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Then we cut back to
the other, one of the
Meko.
three plot, Meko.
Yeah, I said Mako.
Okay.
Meko the cat,
Yeah.
Mako, who is being brought in to a hot, cold bed.
Yeah, a very dark room with
Varric
coals,
just sitting here like, hello.
sitting menacingly seeming.
Yeah, like Bond villain.
Yeah, Mako's like, you think you can torture me? And Varric's like, torture
you? I'm just gonna torture this foot fungus. Starts walking on the bed of coals, and of course, the burning means it's working.
Yeah, that's very
And so he offers Mako a job to his security force.
Yeah,
and kind of hints out
a big old school mobster threatens us like, hey man, you want to keep your family and your friends safe, right?
Right.
You gotta keep them safe.
And Mako, of course, is like, no, I don't trust you. Bye.
Yep, and this is when we come back to the Katara.
Yeah.
Katara. God, too many characters. Korra
You get
and
one
Tenzin.
more.
Yeah, no. Korra and Tenzin. This is when we see Boomy befriend the dragonfly bunny
Yep,
Boomju. He names it.
Boomju, which is short for Boomy Jr. I love that. And of course, he's like, don't you see the resemblance? And Tenzin's like, yes.
It's uncanny.
Yeah, and you can tell he's upset. And even Jinora's like, I think Dad's mad at me because I can do this and he can't. And Kaya's like, no, he's not mad. It's just
Korra's
you
also
wounded
like,
his
"You're
pride."
Yeah, it's really, Korra's also like, yeah, he's fine. He's just like, your gifts are wonderful. You shouldn't be like ashamed.
Yeah,
of
you
them
shouldn't
for
be
this."
ashamed of them. So, and this is where we also mentioned that Korra talks about Avatar Wan.
Yep.
And Jinora's like, how is he like? And she explains how Wan was this fantastic person and was what happened and is now like fused with Rava.
Yep, and we also see that Jinora mentions the wand statue lighting up, and she's like, when did that happen? When Korra opened the portals, you're like, whoa.
Yep, technically, that's when we actually find out that statue was of Wan.
Yeah, but we could have guessed.
Yeah, but speculation involves, that was definitely it. And then of course they talk about that, and then they reach the area where the spirit bunnies wanted Jinora to go to.
Yep, the whole time Tenzin keeps second guessing Jinora about after everything that she brings up.
Yeah, this very old airbender like meditation circle. It's like all brush and everything like that.
Yeah, and so they do a spirit cleansing ritual to fix the area up, which results in a tiny hole in the middle of the area, releasing hundreds of dark bat-like spirits.
Yep, as you say, it kind of works, and of course, you know, there's some bending going on, and the bats are like, wee!
Yeah, they're all.
And all of a sudden, Korra tries it one more time.
Yep.
She goes Avatar state, gets some water around them, and starts trying to do that exercising
that spirit
thing.
bending thing.
And it works this time.
Yep,
we finally see her actually make it work. The bat spirits are cleansed and off, and everything just turns back to normal.
Yep.
And then, of course, after all of this, you know, Tenzin's amazed. And so they can now go, you know, they can go back to the whole meditating thing.
Yep.
But not before Korra literally just is like, Tenzin, I'm sorry, because Unalaq, you know, he taught me some good things, but he only used it for selfish reasons. And I'm really sorry for just abandoning you and betraying you. You know, they make up.
Yeah, and she gives him the first try to enter the spirit world once again.
Yep. And then we cut back to Asami visiting Mako.
Yeah, and a sexy tank top just hanging around the house, just like, man, I gotta figure out this crazy cop stuff.
You say sexy tank top. I say wife beater.
I know, I was refraining from saying that, which I normally call to them as it's always a terribly problematic name for that thing. But yeah, it's a tank top. Yeah, and he's chilling out, looking all dope, and you're just like, oh, I gotta figure out this cop mission, man. Oh,
and Asami's like, hey,
I don't
you
play
need
by
to
the
chill
rules.
out. Why don't you and I go to Kwan's, you know, like our first date. And they have a cute kissy moment.
Oh, look at
it's
that.
so oogie.
And then bang bang on the door, it's Gong and Lou and Lin.
Hey, we heard that you guys worked with some
triple threats
and stuff. And Mako just is like, yeah, I did a sting operation. You know, he just literally just lays it out the truth.
And they just start turning over his apartment looking for evidence, saying, one's a triple threat, or is a triple threat? What do you got here?
Money and one of those fuses.
Yep, the fuses. They find a big duffel bag in the back room, and saying, he's like, that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, I've been set up.
Like, yeah, sure you have. And of course, he gets arrested, and as they're leaving, you know, he's like, it was Varric. Yeah, sure, and I'm the Queen of England. Not like that, but you get the idea.
Asami is like very. Oh, he says that the triple threat said that they set Asami up. That Mako was setting her up too, and she's very like confused.
And she's very conflicted by this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at Tenzin, who is who's not going into the spirit world. Kaya and company, but Kaya's the main one. She's like, hey,
Jinora.
Look, Jinora's got to be the one.
Yep.
And then of course he's like, no, that's nonsense. I can't send her in there. She can't do anything. Then Jinora is she was the breaking point where she's like, look,
yep.
I get it. I know you're being upset and everything like that, but I really think I can help. And of course, he kind of softens up, and he lets her know that he's actually very proud of her power.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
Finally relents after all of that craziness.
And then Jinora and Korra start meditating.
Yep.
And we see this beautiful, vibrant landscape.
Yeah, some beautiful visuals as they first enter.
Right, and then of course they made it into the spirit world successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to Unalaq at a tree. And he's like, I failed you, Lord Vatu. The Avatar is dead, and now we can't get the portal open. And Vatu's like, dude, what?
Yeah, like,
you think the Avatar is dead?
No, she's not. I would have sensed Rava if she did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would have sensed Rava if, you know, but no. She's alive. And don't worry about chasing after her, because she's gonna come to you, because she made it to the spirit world.
Bum, bum, bum.
And cut.
Yep.
Because that is the end of the first episode of this. Now, here's my question, because now we're actually getting into the spirit world of both Avatar: The Last Airbender up to this point. There may not have been a lot of, but what's your favorite moment of the spirit world?
Honestly, it's a tie, both involving Ko the Face Stealer.
Yeah, you know,
he's my favorite character, spirit in this whole series.
You've mentioned.
I love Ko.
I know one
the voice is fantastic, and he's such a creepy ass like thing. The whole like aspect of having to keep your face completely neutral, he'll take it.
Right,
it's really good. And then like the other thing is that online video, which I think we first actually see the female Airbender when we like Aang's talking to all of his past lives. I think before the female one, we see the waterbending one who has a showboat, and like was showing off, and Ko stole his, I think it was his girlfriend or sister's face.
I think it was his girlfriend's face.
Yeah, I mentioned that in another episode. That was a really cool short story about Ko actually doing something and being, I think, I might have been outside of the spirit world at that point. I don't know. It's really
probably
yeah, and Ko's great, and also the whole aspect of Ko's weird mother, Goddess of Faces from the
comic,
book. Yeah. But no, I love Ko because Ko was such a weird, creepy centipede ass monster. It was a really cool design, really terrifying voice. It was really cool.
I agree. Ko is a pretty cool one.
Yeah,
and just the fact that he's literally like, "Don't you dare show emotion, or else your face is mine," kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very,
especially
very cool.
like the scene where like Aang is up there.
You can try to scare Aang in the face.
Oh, hey, emotion. Ko immediately just turns around and it's just like flat face.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
that was awesome. But honestly, one of my favorite spirit world things is, surprisingly enough, in this next episode.
Oh yeah,
where episode 10, A New Spiritual Age, where of course we get the narrator talking about how Korra and Jinora are in the spirit world.
Yep.
And need to seal the portal, and also Unalaq is working with Batu.
Batu.
But will they stop him in time?
Yep.
And which we cut to Tenzin.
Nighttime at the air temple. Was it nighttime last time? Or
Yeah,
was it just now?
it was starting. It was like dusk getting into nighttime.
Okay, yeah.
So now it is nighttime, and Jinora and Korra, just like with Aang when he goes into the spirit world, are just sitting there meditating. You know, kind of like the whole in our last episode with Megan and Simon, where when they're in mind battle, they just stand there.
They just stand there. Yeah, it's really cool. Tenzin is like really nervous for Jinora. Like, oh, she won't have her bending. I'm really worried about it.
They're defenseless without their bending.
Yeah,
and Boomy takes exception to this.
What are you talking about?
I love that scene because it's like, oh yeah, what do you think? I don't have my bending. Well, yeah, it's because you have your kind of like your great personality. I would say my cunning mind and cat-like reflexes, but whatever.
Yeah, she's great.
And of course, after all that, Tenzin's like, I'll take first watch, and his family assures them that if he needs company, wake him up.
Mm-hmm. In the spirit world, we see that crazy, beautiful setting, like a long, giant field, all kinds of spirits popping up all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's very, very cool.
And, of course, Korra is doing just fine, but Jinora gets like, oh, look at all the spirits and stuff, and gets on ahead.
Yeah, the one spirit that's like it's a big, giant, like, flower that blooms and then turns into a butterfly. A big, giant butterfly that, like, flies over Jinora.
And of course, Korra's like, whoa, what's going on? And Jinora's like, yay! Runs off.
Yep.
And of course, Korra's like, wait, come back, Jinora. And steps in a hole where a meerkat spirit is.
I thought it was a gopher spirit.
Well, they look like the thin, like, meerkat looking things.
I don't like gopher. Or they're like really, they're really thin. They're like probably some kind of weird fusion animal.
Well, I was gonna say it's Avatar. So either way, it's a spirit. It's an underground gopher spirit like thing. It's like, hey, what you doing in our homes, huh?
Yeah,
and then like so many of them like come up and like they're upset. And
chastising her, saying, "You're the Avatar. You should know better than to do." They like just make
fun of her. Just making fun of her. She tries to bend them, and they're like, "Look, she tried to bend us. Get her!" And they turn into these weird blue globs.
They lunge and leap at her, and like when they hit her, they turn into these weird giant purple globs.
And Jinora notices this, and she's like, "No, you need to calm down. Your power is like overwhelming them." And it's too late because
not power, your emotions.
Oh yeah, your emotions are like overpowering them. In which case she goes to try and help, but it's too late because the weird like gopher things like go into like a vortex.
They start running, they're just running in a circle around her, and it like forms a vortex.
Yeah, they both like, sink down into this weird like underground like river kind of thing, and they both get sucked into it, and they get separated. Where we see Korra is in a dark wood.
I'm gonna say before they're separated, when they're like spinning and they fall into the hole, and then they're just
they go like underwater, and there's like this weird
a big gigantic spirit gator also just like swims by, grabs them, and then they wake up and they're like in a weird spinning underwater rafting cave thing. It's a really cool sequence.
It really is. It's like really crazy, and then all of a sudden, they get separated. Yep. Where Korra's in a dark wood and
surrounded by monstrous spirits.
We're talking like these things look like. Something like in an anime, really, because they look like angelic almost. They got like the long.
Female ones, maybe the Kimura Kage from the.
They do kind of look like that, don't they?
They might be that. They're three female-ish looking spirits that could be the Kimura Kage from.
That's actually I never made that connection.
The Zula and all them book, yeah.
Yeah, it could, but they look really like menacing.
Yeah, a number of like crazy weird, another weird like almost co-looking centipede-looking thing, and all kinds of other ones. We keep seeing just a spinning around, freaking out, and as like the camera's spinning around, we see Korra as a little kid once again, a little baby.
Korra's little baby Korra, and she's like she's freaking out, obviously. But then we cut back to like the other side of the woods where it's nice and like bright.
Jinora's
and
in a nice safe field.
Yeah, and of course she's like, "Huh, where should I go?" Enter Furryfoot, who's giant.
Yeah, who's somehow now huge in the spirit world, his true form, I guess.
Right, and then of course she's like, "Hey, I need to find Korra and the portals. Can you help me?" And so Furryfoot they go on this like nice Miyazaki-esque kind of flight sequence.
Yeah,
where
it's
she's
very
like,
cute.
Yeah, it's so great. In which we see this upside down building.
Before that, they fly towards a dark forest.
Oh,
where
right.
they presume the Korra is, and they see a weird, upside down.
Yeah, a weird upside down building, which is revealed to be Wan Shi Tong's Spirit Library.
Yay.
Dun dun dun.
Back with Kid Korra.
And now, back to Kid Korra. She's all scared and like in like a little like crevice in a tree, and there's this bird, like this dark spirit bird, like Rah! And she smacks it, and we find out it's this cute,
it's not a
adorable,
dark spirit,
like
it's just a little
bird thingy, like a bird with like dragon wings or something.
Bird dragon,
and,
it's very cute.
She just picks it up and she's like, "I'm sorry, you scared me."
And
then all you hear is an old man say, "You two look lost. Maybe I can help you." I literally cried in joy because an old man with a lantern appears, and Korra somehow knows him. Like I said, I cried in joy, legitimately. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Dude, the first time this aired, I did too on TV. I was just like, oh my god!
Because, honestly, in Avatar The Last Airbender, I will fight anyone who says that he is not the best boy. Bolin got taken over in one episode because it was Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So we find out that Uncle Iroh is in the spirit world. And of course, he mentions how, I kind of know you through the Avatar. So, we're friends. And so he takes Korra and this little bird dragon to his tea shop.
He leads her out of
the woods. Yeah, to his tea shop. Where there's like a whole bunch of other spirits and stuff. They're having a tea party because this giant two-headed frog got married to each other.
He said that she grew on him, so I assume that they just fused together because spirits are weird.
Right. It's the spirit world.
A weird two conjoined spirits is like,
Mei Jim, by the way, is the name of that frog now.
Mei Jim?
Yep. They're celebrating the wedding of Mei Jim. And, they're kind of funny. They're like, she just grew on me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, of course, she goes over to the tea party and, they give her cakes and...
spirit cake, but she won't gain any weight or lose any weight.
Yeah. I love that so much.
Iroh slaps his big tub.
And then, of course, one of the tea kettles over there, Korra instantly realizes is her tea kettle, which, of course, is the same one that Wan held Rava in.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the best part about making tea in that is you can still taste a little light in every cup.
Yeah, Korra now is like, the spirit world is so nice and that's so peaceful. And it's just like, he brews her the tea. It's very, very cute scene.
Oh, it's so... amazing.
It's very, very adorable. And
but we have to cut back to Jinora because we gotta learn what's going on there.
Yeah.
She enters with Furryfoot, and it pretty much looks the same from Avatar The Last
library,
Airbender.
Yeah, the spirit library looks almost unchanged. It's covered in vines now, however, and we also see the Foxy Servants.
The Foxy Servants.
That's how they refer to them, remember?
They're the Fox Spirits.
They're Foxy Servants. That's
Anyway.
literally how the librarian refers to them, and Sokka's like, oh, Foxy. And
yes.
it's like they're little foxes. Like, yeah, they're really handsome. And it's like little actual foxes.
Right.
Yeah,
but anyway, as she enters this, she's like, wow, I could read in here forever. Enter Wan Shi Tong, saying, oh, the last person who said that is still here. And we see a corpse of a very scholarly-looking person.
Yep, Professor Zay.
Yep, which we find out is Professor Zay from Aang's Quest.
A very... it's
literally like skeleton.
Yeah, it's a very mummified looking like dead body. It's very like a mixed feeling because I'm like, oh, it's funny he actually got to stay, but also it's sad because he's a dead weird corpse just sitting in the library now. It's very bizarre.
And of course, her mentioning Professor Zay makes Wan Shi Tong being like, yeah, I see you know much about the past, so you know that humans aren't allowed here.
Yeah, humans aren't welcome.
Like, go away. And she's like, but wait. I thought we were allowed in if we gave you information. And he goes, that was the old rules. Get out of here. She goes, but I know something you don't know. He's like, oh, really? what would you know? Me who knows 1,000 things. And she's like,
10,000
oh,
things.
10,000 things, thank you. And she's like, I know how radios work. He's like, well, I do too. Because inside the box, there's a tiny man who plays instruments and sings. And then, no science lesson here, but she actually explains how a radio works.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
And of course,
sound waves and everything.
Yeah, and of course, Wanshita's like, okay, stop. Looks at one of his Fox servers.
He's like,
and
I guess I didn't know that.
I guess someone misinformed me. And just
about
one box is
boxes.
just like sad ears and just crawls away.
Yeah, it's very, very funny.
Well, be that as it may, no, you're not allowed to. And then she's like, yeah, but I need to help the Avatar. And, oh, you know the Avatar? Okay. Just don't break anything.
Yep. Back to Iroh. We see Iroh playing Pai Sho again.
Yep. And of course, Pai Sho is a game of patience.
And from the spirits.
Yeah, and made from the spirits, but they don't seem very good at it.
He's playing a weird giant radish spirit.
I thought it was like a rose bulb.
No, it was like a vegetable, looked like to me.
Right. Well, either way, it's just this giant like vegetoid kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Korra, is lamenting because she's sad, she's alone, she doesn't have her friend.
Oh yeah.
And Iroh's like, hey, it's okay. And she's not having it.
I will say before that, we find Iroh explains that he's been here for many years because at the end of his life on Earth, he decided to leave his body for the spirit world.
Yep, you're
Which
right.
is very, very interesting. So yeah, instead of like, dying and passing on or whatever.
That's right, because he had a strong affinity with spirits anyway.
Yep.
So he's just like, yeah, so I just decided when my mortal coil was done, my spirit, I'm going and I'm going to be in the spirit world.
He just left his body.
In the background, we also see like a mountain with like this big black kind of cloud. Because that's important because when Korra gets upset...
Yeah, she starts freaking out.
Yeah, and then the cloud like extends and all the spirits start like turning darkish.
Dark, yeah.
And Iroh lets her know that, hey, you need to calm down because here your emotions can control things.
Yeah, it became reality.
Yeah,
especially for the Avatar.
Yeah, definitely for the Avatar. So when she calms down, everything goes back to normal. And she even apologizes and all the spirits turn back to normal. And she goes, I did that? He's like, yeah, you did. And she tries to, say that she wants to be with Jinora, and nothing happens because it's not that easy.
Yeah,
obviously.
Iroh gives her some good advice about looking for the light, and he tells her that the best thing that she can do is help the dragon bird get home.
Yep.
Where she'll find the nest is at the top of that crazy mountain.
Uh-huh. And of course, High Rio Peak is where she has to go. So as she's noticing this, we cut back to Jinora, who is actually looking for books and she can't find anything.
She asks one of the foxes for help.
Yep, one of the foxes, and of course the fox instantly finds it and gives it nice head pets.
Yeah, a book on the spirit portals.
Yeah, the spirit portals,
in the spirit world.
Yep, and even about the Tree of Time where Vaatu resides.
Yep, we learned that also. She learns that when harmonic convergence is and what it truly is or whatever.
Yeah, we find out what it actually is. It's pretty much, long story short, if the portals are sealed and Vaatu is still in the spirit world, there is no harmonic convergence. There's no battle between good and evil.
Yep.
But should they, should harmonic convergence come and both of the portals are open, Vaatu can be freed and do his whole thing, and they have to do the fight.
Yeah, just as she gets this information, we hear Unalaq in the library.
And of course, she's like, wait a minute, that's a human. And Wan Shi-tong's like, yeah, but he's a friend of the spirits, unlike the Avatar.
Yeah, it's like, what were you talking about? He wants to free Vaatu, and then he's like, oh, don't believe everything you hear. As his creepy Unalaq's darkness turns Furryfoot into a dark spirit.
Oh, big old dark spirit.
Captures Jinora.
Yep. And then we go back to Korra, who's like, oh, this looks scary. Hey, Iroh, can you come with me? And Iroh's like, nah, you gotta do this alone. But you have the power to make a dark situation and turn it happy, pretty much.
He shows her the path to the dragon's home and says that her light will brighten the path.
Yep, and so she starts climbing the peak where she sees these three
she's chanting light and peace, right?
No, she's saying that she's telling herself that she can do this. She's not afraid.
Kind of thing. Light and peace. So she's going up the mountain, and then she sees the dark lion.
Yeah, the lion canine-esque looking things, and she's just like, and she's like, hey, maybe you guys can help me because I'm not afraid of you guys. You're just really nice spirits who have a bad rap. Let's go. Can you help me out? And the dark spirits literally brighten up and turn into, like you said, lion dog things. And they help her. They climb up with her, where she sees a nest with 3 more of those dragon birds.
Yep.
And she puts the one down, and all 4 of them fuse together into this majestic looking.
I thought you had some kind of phoenix dragon looking thing. Yeah.
I think it was an adult version of that, but still very like ornate, golden yellow kind of.
Very, very pretty dragon thing. And as this thing's flying around, spinning around, Korra returns to her adult form finally.
Yep, she's now back to an adult, and she gets on, and they fly towards the spirit portals where she can try to seal them. And then as she's going over to like, yes, here's the southern portal, time to seal it. You hear Vaatu like, I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
And we get this like weird like zoom in scene where she actually like moves with the entire.
Yeah, the whole like spirit world's like moving really crazily around her while she sees this.
And Vaatu's like, aha, yes, I see you, Rava. And Korra's like, yeah, I'm gonna steal that portal. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, do you want to do that? And we see Unalaq using that spirit magic on Jinora, only instead of yellow and like brightness around it, it's dark.
Yeah, and we see her weird spirit form beginning to turn dark as he threatens her.
Yep. So he's like, "All right, here's your choices: save her by opening the north portal, or let her soul be destroyed and seal the southern portal." Of course, Korra breaks down because Jinora cannot be harmed. Mm-hmm. And so she opens up the north portal.
Yep, so Unalaq won't torture Jinora any longer. And of course,
Unalaq starts using bending on Korra. He's like, if you went through the portals, you could have had your bending.
Yep, as the dog spirits turn
dark again.
Yeah, and
they turn dark again. And dude, they're savage. They literally have her crush around and they're doing like the dog headshake thing
Unalaq
and everything.
Begins spirit bending Korra. Just as the Phoenix Dragon comes back and saves her once again.
I think it was hilarious because it's like, awesome dragon, light tail flap, and Unalaq's just like, bah.
Yeah, it was knocked away. It's really cool.
And then, of course, as that's all happening, Korra gets on the dragon spirit, and then, of course, goes around and flies back to her body.
Yep.
And then, of course, she wakes...
Vaatu vow was revealed, like, I'll see you at harmonic convergence, Rava.
I'll see you when the plot thickens.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, she wakes up and Tenzin's like, oh, you're back. Everything's going all right? Wait, what happened to Jinora? Korra, where's my baby girl? And Korra just is like devastated. She's like, you see her welling up in tears, broken, and then the episode ends there.
Yeah, it was a very, very crazy ending.
Now you know why that's my favorite, because not only does it have Best Boy Iroh.
Yeah, Iroh's return.
But it, like, unlike with Aang, where he did go into the spirit world, like the first time he went in, where he was figuring out what was going on, and he saw Roku's spirit dragon. But this one, like, you go a little bit further, and there's a whole lot of callbacks too.
Oh yeah.
But still, but now, what is going to happen? What do you think? What do you think about all this?
What do you think's gonna happen? I know it's gonna happen. I've seen the series before.
Hey, you wanted me to ask you questions.
But I don't ask you about future stuff. What do you think about like?
What do you think about like the whole idea of harmonic convergence?
I think it's very, very interesting and weird, and I'm like,
yeah. See, it's
funny. It sounds like it's probably some kind of actual like spiritualist's term or something for something.
Right? Yeah. I gave that some thought too, and I thought to myself, it was interesting because not even Aang brought up anything.
Well, I don't think any of the other. Also, I saw online brought up like. You think how many of the other avatars actually do you think knew about Wan and Rava at any point?
Right. Yeah.
Because only the 10,000 years since Wan has only been relevant now, since it's been 2,000 years, and harmonic convergence is going to happen again for the first time ever.
But still, so, I mean, even Roku to Aang would be like he has all of the memories of every single past life.
They don't really share memories. They only tell them so much what they know usually, or what's relevant to them.
That is fair, but still, just the whole fact that. Even like the visual representation of harmonic convergence, literally the planets align straight, and just like all the spiritual energy is like super strong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At first, I was not behind that. At first, I'm just like, oh, it's just another good versus evil, whatever. But the more I watch this, the more I realize I kind of like this. Mm-hmm. I'm really, really enjoying all.
It's a very, very huge stakes thing for.
Right. Yeah. And now I'm really wanting to see how this ends, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But before we even get to that, I'm sure that everyone wants to know how, everyone else is doing.
Oh, yeah.
So we can cut over to our last episode of this episode. It sounds so weird to say it, but it is a true statement.
Yep.
Episode 11,
Night of 1,000 Stars. Now, this is probably my favorite episode of this batch, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
I just love the whole... it's great.
I have to agree with you. We start off with the narrator telling us about how Unalaq forced Korra to open the North Portal.
But it's mostly about the Nuktuk Movers.
Yep, and he's like, well, as that's happening, the Nuktuk Movers, and how Mako's in jail because he blamed Varric, and in the North, the North is gonna in the South, the North is gonna overthrow the South, and Tonraq will not give up without a fight. And then we enter Tenzin and co flying back on
the Air Bison.
Yeah, what was the name again?
I don't know if it's Sky Buffalo. Ooh, Oogie.
Yeah, it was Oogie. One? Yeah, it was Oogie.
Oh, okay.
Flying on Oogie, and of course, Pema's like, yay, you're back, and where's Jinora?
Yeah, and they see Jinora's limp body, and she freaks out, which is crazy, but Tenzin has to explain her spirit's been lost.
Her spirit's lost, but her body's okay. She's gonna make it.
Also, did we mention last time that, Jinora's... Well, we said at the end that, she didn't wake up, but, Unalaq still has Jinora's spirit.
It's implied, even though they don't show
it. I'm saying we didn't say to the...
Oh, that is true, yes. Hey, by the way, Unalaq still has Jinora's spirit. Anyway, and of course, as all of this is happening, Tenzin's, trying to be a good dad, because let's be honest, this entire season he was trying to be a better dad because he was a councilman the entire time.
Yeah.
So we cut back to
Republic
Bolin.
City.
Yep, back in Republic City, where Bolin visits Mako in jail.
With the metal bending prison.
Yep, with metal bending prison and all that stuff. So cool.
He's dressed up fancy for his big mover premiere.
Yep, it is the not just any premiere. It is the finale of Nuktuk, Hero of the South. And of course, he's sad because Mako can't make it because, he's in prison. And
he's
of course,
criminal, whatever he keeps calling him. That's really funny.
Right. Well, that's what I even put down. Bolin tries to encourage Mako, but fails miserably.
He gives him a big mover poster.
With an autograph and everything like that.
Words of encouragement. You can do it.
And of course, Mako still tries to tell him, it's Varric. Varric's the bad guy. And Bolin's like, oh, you're going to try to get out for insanity.
Yeah,
gotcha.
You're doing good.
Actually, I've noticed the more he hung out with Varric, the more he's acting like him, too.
Of course.
And of course, Mako's like, where's Asami?
Yeah, that's what it said. Asami did not come to the prison because being in prison reminds her of her dad, who is also prison. And it's very, very messed up. And Bolin's like, hey, I'm going to get you the best attorney money you can get for this film with all my money. And he's just like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Yep, and of course, before Bolin leaves, Mako's like, dude, not gonna lie, something might go down at the premiere. Just keep your eyes peeled. And Bolin's like, yeah, sure. No.
Yeah. He's like, oh, that insanity defense is really going to work there, Mako. Bye. As we see Tonraq overlooking the southern water tribe as the northerners are still blockading the South Ocean.
Yeah, and of course, they're like, hey, should we wait longer for the forces to come here?
For Korra and the others, no, we got to do this now. And they launch a cool snowboarding attack down the mountain.
Yeah, snowboard with ice kind of thing.
They just make snowboards out of ice and just slide down the hills. It's really funny looking, really cool. Then we go to the premiere for a huge Hollywood affair at the arena.
At the arena where it's literally red carpet and all that stuff. Where
paparazzo.
Paparazzo. And of course, Bolin is like,
walking the carpet with Ginger.
With Ginger, and of course they're what was his name? Show the announcer.
No, the announcer. Shoe.
It was like Shoe or Show or something like that. But anyway, he's like. They're like, yeah. He's like, yeah. These are the greatest couple on the red carpet, and he's like, oh, yeah. You hear that, Ginger? We're a couple, and she's like, you're as dumb as the rocks that you bend because we're not a couple.
Yeah, she's still. He's like, but come on, the announcer said we were, so we are, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Very dumb. We cut to Gong and Lu just stuffing their faces with Vera cakes.
Yep, with Vera cakes. And of course,
it's like, quit stuffing your faces and do your dang security job, you idiots.
And then we see President Raiko with his wife
Buttercup.
And of course they're like, yeah. And Varric just walks up and he's like, yes.
He greets
him on the carpet. Look at
yeah.
this. And of course,
goes for some photos. It's very funny.
Yep.
And it says this carpet was made in the Fire Nation. You know they make the best red stuff.
Got the best food, got the best cuisine, even had this. And of course, as they're getting ready for all of this, President Raiko mentions, "Yeah, you know I know what you're planning."
Yeah,
right?
I see right through what you're doing.
And Varric's like, "Yeah, you know I'm very persuasive." And then we get inside the arena where the mover is actually being showed. And before the movie starts, Varric gets up on the stage, on the pro bending stage, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll all enjoy this," because actually brings up, the whole conflict.
Yeah, it's really, it feels really like an actual real life thing. He's talking about how hard he's worked, how no one believed in him, but his people are suffering right now because of the plight of his people. It's his people. He's from a southern tribe, and it's it feels really personal, like an actual movie director or something like talking about a real social issue, like what he actually has. The stadium is really cool and powerful.
Yeah,
despite what a bad guy Varric actually is.
And then of course he mentions that hopefully someone with power will be able to help
about this. Yeah,
and hopefully this will move them. And then all of a sudden he starts rolling the clip, and oh my goodness. You thought that the propaganda for this entire mover was crazy. Today was the worst. It is spread on thick.
Yeah,
because
Tuck escapes the giant bird we saw Bolin stuck in last episode.
And he goes to Republic City to ask the president, who is making a cure for the common cold, mind you.
Hilarious.
For help. It's for help to attack Unalaq of the South.
Yep.
In the South. And of course, the president's just like, yes, of course, because I like helping people, which made the president, the real life president, be like,
yeah.
And even his wife was like, hey, I don't know about one of these scenes, but they've really hit you right on the money with this.
Yeah, she's really
scene.
flirting with her husband, and he's like, hey, he looks kind of proud, but kind of he's still upset about it. And then Bolin is sad that Mako couldn't be here. He's just like, oh man, I'm really upset about this.
Yep.
Outside, we see some speedboats waterbend up to underneath the arena, and sneak into the actual area. They get past Lu and Gong, of course. Those two idiots.
No, they don't get past
them.
They knock them out and put them in the locker.
Yeah, they knocked them out very bad. The detectives are taken out as the film continues to play.
Yep, and as the film gets to a very emotional moment where Nuktuk is sad because his Arctic what was it? Oh, yeah, Juji, the Arctic raccoon, is dying.
Yeah, after he's rescued by robots.
Nook no.
I wrote down Nook no, too.
Oh, just so crazy. Because, it's so cheesy, actual 20s, old movie kind of cheesy.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Just makes me laugh so much.
Also, I love all the fake, from off-screen, hands and arms that come. I always love those.
The bird that's it literally just cuts quickly. The bird just not.
The editing is hilarious.
As all of this is happening, Bolin leaves because obviously he's upset about something. And of course, Asami goes out to, comfort him and be like, hey, you know Juji doesn't die, right? And Bolin just drops the biggest spoiler. He tells how the movie ends.
Yeah, he's like, oops, spoilers.
Yeah,
sorry.
oops, spoilers.
He talks about how he's sad that Team Avatar has fallen apart. Everyone's all separated, and Mako's in jail, and Korra's missing, and Asami's off doing her thing, and it's Asami agrees that it doesn't feel right, and everyone's really upset.
And then, of course, Asami is in agreement with all of this.
Oh, yeah.
But she's also like, hey, maybe you should come back to the movie. And, Bolin's like, all right, I will. Just give me a moment. In which case, he notices the boat. And he's like, wait, that's not supposed to be here. And he goes to investigate.
Yep.
And this, dear listeners, is where things start getting amazing. And why?
I'm about to say, this might be one of my favorite fights so far in the series. Yeah.
And why I think this is one of your favorite episodes of this.
After he finds Lu and Gong tied up,
they mentioned
that they're after the president. Yeah.
And then of course, the president is sitting with his wife, and Northerners are they go behind and cover his mouth and stuff like that, and they're like, and all of a sudden Bolin walks in. And everything lines up with the movie perfectly.
In real life with the movie, yeah.
You're not going anywhere kind of thing. And they literally have a real fight as the movie fight is happening.
Yeah, it's really cool because Ginger screams the same time as Ginger in the movie does.
Right, and then every single fight lines up perfectly and all that stuff.
It's so cool. They land in the middle of the arena, he rips off his sleeves, gives a neck roll, and it's just goddamn. It's so cool.
It's even funny because as all of this is going on, the announcer is actually Shiro, that's his name. I actually have his name here.
Okay, yeah.
Shiro is announcing the whole thing to some random guy beside
some
him.
rando is like screaming in his face. He's just like, "Oh, do you see what's happening?"
One of my favorite lines from him was, "And Bolin is bending 2 full stacks of discs, which would be illegal in pro bending, but this is an actual fight, so anything goes."
Yeah, little Ginger's just like, "Be careful." Same whenever the movie doesn't. It's just the whole thing's really cool scene.
And then of course Bolin gets the last guy down, and he goes, "Who hired you?" And we find out that it was Varric.
He's like, "It was Varric. Don't hurt me, Nuktuk."
That's right. He actually, "Don't hurt me, Nuktuk."
That was amazing.
And Bolin looks up, and Varric is like, you can see like sweat beating down. He's just like, "Julie, I think this is our cue to leave." They both get up, they both turn, and Lynn is there with some police officers going, "And where do you think you're going?"
Yeah, and this is when we cut back to the south.
Yep.
Where Notak's men are like just beating the crap out of all the Northerners really handily. It's really cool. Only to have Unalak show up with a bunch of dark spirits.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's very messed up and crazy.
And then, of course, we cut back to
the premiere
where everyone's cheering for Bolin, and even Bolin's just like, "Yeah!"
And Varric's being arrested, put into the back of a van.
Varric and Julie are being put into custody, and Lynn reveals that the president was to be kidnapped, so that Republic City had no choice but to go to war, and that was Varric's plan all along.
And Lynn and Riker were like, "Wow, Mako was right the whole time. He is a great cop, and he knew exactly what was going on."
And as this is happening,
Bolin's getting all the praise, and he's like, "Yeah, Bolin's a big hero."
And Ginger comes up and kisses him. He's like, "Wait a minute," and she's like, "Yay, my boyfriend's a real hero." And he's like, "Wait, we're not a couple." She's like, "You really are dumb. We are a couple, of course."
Yeah, they start making out, and Asami's just like, "Bolin, wow, I can't believe it." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." He's making out with her. And then we gotta save Mako.
Hey, we should tell Mako. Right, makes out some more. Oh, you mean right now? Makes out a little bit more. Leaves.
Before that, finally, Korra arrives in the goddamn city after all this whole time.
Right, yeah, with Tenzin and everyone else, and everyone's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And Korra's excited to see them all, and she's like, "Where's Mako?" And they're both just like,
She's like, "President Unalak," and like it's hilarious after the movie's ridiculousness. She's just like, "President Raiko, Unalak has a crazy death plan to destroy the entire planet." And he's just like, "Oh God, what?"
And he's like, "Whoa, wow!" And of course, being the rational individual, knowing that lives of the entire world are at stake, he has to protect his people by not joining.
Yep, he's going to protect the people of his city and avoid it. And it's just like, are you serious still?
Even Tenzin's like, "Dude, a lot more people are going to die than just Republic City."
And then, but even like Bolin puts his hand, he's just like, "Come on, Nuktuk needs you. You need to do this."
Yeah, and even the president's like, "Look, I know you saved me, and I thank you for that.
Yeah,
plus, I love your movies."
Yeah, but no, I can't. And it's just like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, even he was like, "Man, I really regret saving that guy."
And this is finally when she's just like, "Wait, where's Mako?" And
you're right.
"Oh yeah, jail." They go.
And then of course we cut to Mako, where Bolin comes in and is like, "Dude, you were right about everything." And Mako's like, "I told you." Yeah, and Bolin's like, "Yeah, you're free to go." And as he's walking out, everyone starts cheering for him.
Lin, Lu, and Gong are there. Lin demotes Lu and Gong from detective and gives Mako the position, which is great.
Yep. And then, of course, Korra goes up and hugs.
Oh, no, he smiles at Asami, and then Korra just jumps him.
Jumps up and hugs him. And kisses him. Like, what? And of course, he's confused. He's like, "Wait a minute. You're not mad at me for that big fight we had?"
Yeah, we also got a very sad, upset Asami face, which had just...
Oh, no, it was an angry Asami face.
Oh, yeah, she was very like, "Ugh, what the fudge?" And it was just like...
and of course, Korra's like, "Well, I did lose my memories, and I must not have them all back. Was it a bad fight?" Mako looks at Asami, looks at around,
like everyone, like all the cops who were there when the big giant when she flipped the desk
over. And he just goes, no, it wasn't bad. Yes, that's right, kids.
And this
Mako's a big friggin' liar."
And then Asami gets extra pissed, and Bolin's just like, "Oh boy."
Yeah, oh boy. And of course, Tenzin's like, "Hey, so we need to figure out a plan. Who do we know that we can get help from?" Bolin is like, "I know just the man to go to," and you see Varric.
Yep,
in his prison cell,
a luxury cell with Julie.
Oh yes, a big old luxury cell with Julie. And of course, it's all luxury and stuff because Varric Industries helped build this prison. And of course, he made this room specifically for him because he knew eventually he was gonna be there.
Yeah, exactly. It's hilarious.
And of course, everyone's like, "Wait, Julie's in there?" And he's like, "Of course, Julie's never leaves my side." And then of course, everyone's like, "Dude, you did some bad things." And he's like, "Yeah, I made a mess, but I did a lot of good things." Asami, Who saved your company? Me. Bolin. Who made you a mover star and got you out of your financial depression? Me. Korra. Who warned you that Unalaq was doing evil things?
Yeah.
Me. Mako. Who got you thrown into prison? That's a bad thing.
That was hilarious.
And then of course everyone's just like, yeah, but I mean, you still did some rotten things. He's like, okay, look, I'll make a deal with you. I have this battleship, which by the way, that's where I put your stuff, Asami, that I stole from you. And I'm going to it named her the Julie. It's like, wait, you named your battleship after your assistant? He goes, of course. Oh, where did I put it? Where did I put it?
She's a cold, heartless machine built for war.
Yep. Thank you. You were already there. Yeah. They're both cold, heartless war machines. And then he looks and he goes, all right, I'm sorry for the mess, so take Julie. No. I mean, the battleship. Julie the battleship.
Yeah. And as they're finally of that, they say Team Avatar is back in business.
Yep.
Finally, after all this time.
And then on the
Julie battleship.
On the Julie.
Mako comforts Korra once again.
And of course, it's a kind of awkwardly cute moment.
Yeah, just with all the craziness stuff going on. We cut back to Noatak and or Tanrak. Was Tanrak his
Tanrak.
Yeah, Noatak's
and the south is fighting the dark spirits to no avail.
Beaten very badly.
And then of course, Tanrak sees Unalaq and just runs up.
He says, I guess the end is he has to kill his brother, and he goes up to fight him. It's a very, very cool.
Oh, dude, it is amazing. And there was one scene that upset me so much because Tanrak got super close to punching Unalaq right in the face. Yeah. And it did the slow motion and everything. But then Unalaq was even looking worried, and he's just like, boom, boom.
Yeah, crazy. That was a really cool high level waterbending.
Oh my goodness, it was. And of course, Unalaq freezes Tanrak in some ice, gets that evil smirk, and he's like, haha. Gets that cool looking icicle drill looking thing out and shatters the ice, and Tanrak falls onto the ground, beaten. I'm not sure if he's dead or not. We don't know. It's very
ambiguous at this point, yeah.
But all of a sudden, Unalaq looks down and says, yeah, now that I've defeated you, I'm going to take care of your daughter.
Yep.
And that's where it cuts.
Yep, that is the end of the episode.
Now,
what were you?
When you first saw this...
Uh-huh.
See, now I know how I word these. When you first saw this episode, just finding out about everything falling into place, finding out that it actually was Varric, even though you never doubted it. How did it make you feel?
I loved that Varric was still an ambiguously great character. He did a ton of bad, but he did a ton of good. And it was a very, very cool angle for a character in Avatar to be that level of what's his name from Star Wars? Billy D. Williams' character Lando.
Oh, Lando, yeah.
Well, yeah, in all the stuff in the not Clone Wars, in the Rebels show or in the actual movies, he will violently screw them over and betray everyone to the big bad evils, but he'll also save them all and be really heroic at the same time. It's a very cool character angle. I love that for Varric. I'm glad he was such a weird, ambiguous character. I love the whole, like I said, this is my favorite episode because that whole Bolin fight in the movers.
Oh, dude, right?
That was really cool.
I have to agree with you because everything just worked out so perfectly.
I absolutely love this episode, and also seeing Korra back with Mako, having forgotten everything with Asami. I'm just that is a horrible, weird relationship, and it's very bad.
It needs
and also
to
makes
end.
Mako actively bad.
Yeah, this is Mako. Just no, you need to stop. Although I will admit, because everyone who has listened to these episodes knows that I did not want to believe that it was Varric.
Absolutely.
Now, hold on. I didn't say that I didn't believe it was Varric. I purposefully wanted not to believe that it was Varric. That it was some kind of gangster in disguise or some
which
crap
is ridiculous.
You never know. They could have been. It's ridiculous in a season about spirits.
And
someone's using someone else's face.
I won't say something spoilery, but that's for later.
But anyway, but seeing how everything unfolded, I can accept the fact that it was Varric because he proved one thing to me, that he is extremely chaotic neutral. He does bad things, good things as well, but he does it with without giving a crap about what happens.
To benefit
he
himself.
knows
Yeah.
he's safe.
He's doing it all to benefit himself. Yeah.
Right. Oh my goodness. I was that whole conclusion to that whole thing. Yeah. Really definitely made me smile. Because,
also, I'm glad I forgot. I knew that he was like going to turn bad, but I forgot that his like redemption, quote unquote, was going to be in the exact same episode. Them outing him as a villain, him getting arrested immediately to them needing his help and him being cool and helping them and pointing out all the good he did. That was really funny. Yeah, that was really, really good.
Although he could have mentioned to Mako that who got you to think that I did it and made you a detective? Because technically, Varric helped him with that.
He wouldn't know the detective position yet, I don't think.
Well, dude, he's gonna be a detective.
Of course, he would figure that he would be after that huge bust he just helped with.
Well, right, and the fact that Lynn literally said you're gonna make a great detective.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just everything, and now we have 3 more episodes.
Oh, the finale.
Yep, the finale is going to be the next Korra episode. I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, as you should expect.
Well, obviously, because season finales are always crazy, especially with good shows like this.
Oh yeah, of course it's going to be
crazy. My goodness. Yeah. What is going to happen?
I'm very much looking forward to it. I love this show. It's really, really good.
Oh my goodness. I do as well. All right. And oh my goodness. Yeah, like I said, I could go. We could talk about this all day, but let's not.
All right.
Let's actually cut this episode off right here.
Yeah. Any plugs, Ben?
Well, my computer is plugged into the power outlet and Okay, look. I'm really bad about having the whole like social media thing. I'm still working on a few things, but no, I don't have any plugs. However, I heard a rumor that you have plugs.
Yes, I do. Matthew Lewis P on Twitter and Matthew Lewis Podcasts for Patreon and YouTube, as well as my Forgotten Minotaur King podcast, still going strong. Probably on hiatus at this point, I think maybe, but who knows?
But and if you haven't listened to the Forgotten Minotaur King, I have nothing to do with it. It's all him. As a person who's actually listened to it, if you like good stories and interesting mysteries, definitely give it a listen to. I can highly recommend it for you guys.
Oh, thank you for that.
And also, look forward to some more episodes. Any last comments you want to give our listeners?
Yeah, did you come up with some kind of new outro since it was your idea and you're the lead host on this episode?
Well, about that, no, I don't.
Great. All right. Well, I guess everyone's just gonna have to keep it sleazy.
Keep it sleazy.